Hey everybody, what's going on? Bostonian plays, Bostonian reviews films. Grew up in Boston, lived in Los Angeles, came back here. I have worked on films, in my lifetime, and now it's time for reviews. So this is the first one, and they'll become increasingly better because it's the summertime. I'm going to go over summer blockbusters, and the first one that I want to do is War of the Worlds. Steven Spielberg obviously directed it. Tom Cruise stars. And, it's a remake. It's been done in Hollywood before. And I'm really glad that Spielberg did it because it's the one that I reference. As far as War of the Worlds is concerned, it's the one that I reference the most. Tom Cruise went through, kind of an awkward period, that a lot of people kind of lashed out at him for and were questioning, whether or not he was all there. But he continued to do what he does, and what is that? That's just consistency. Consistency. It's just consistently made, really good Hollywood films. War of the Worlds, I believe it was 2002. No, that's not 2002. I think it was like 2005 or 2004. I remember going seeing this movie in the cinema with a bunch of friends, and it's just a quintessential summer blockbuster experience. You're getting in out of the heat, and always well air conditioned, and people are lined up at the concession stands. Trailers used to be maybe 3 or 4. I mean, now it's almost like this bombardment of trailers, which, I just completely don't understand. I mean, people sitting there for 25, 30 minutes of trailers, like how you can be excited by the, 7th trailer. So let's get into it. War of the Worlds, 2000 whatever, early, boom. Starts in New York City, and then, of course, they travel, I believe towards Connecticut or something like that. So Tom Cruise, estranged husband and father, working, blue collar guy with a nice car. Kind of comes home. The son, isn't happy to see him. Is very emotional, and the daughter's a little bit more understanding. And then the action just starts pretty much right away. And I love the environments. I love the sets. I love that great bridge that's behind Tom Cruise's house. We get our first vision of what these creatures look like, and of course, it's vaporizing people and stuff like that. So I love films that create a disastrous situation. 1917 is very much like this, and where the environment is creating a dangerous situation, and then it's just primarily about survival. So it's just about a journey of survival, and that's pretty much what War of the Worlds is. It's you kind of have a filmmaker who, no film is ever easy to put together, and it all has everyone has its own energy and obstacles and stuff like that. But it does seem a bit more, relaxed as far as, the energy that's coming from the filmmaker through the film. And this is because, you've already had a great success with Schindler's List. Not only a great success, but you're in the top 10 AFI. And then you've had these series of films, which is, Catch Me If You Can, and The Terminal, and seemingly, more contained and smaller films. And then you lead up to War of the Worlds. And so it's kind of like, yes, I'm coming back to big budget Hollywood filmmaking, something like, Close Encounters, but then also, continuing this kind of more character-based film. So the other thing that I like about War of the Worlds is it does seem to be somewhat of a camera experiment. So you have these great ultimate arm or Russian arm or whatever shots when they're fleeing New York City in the van. And, combined with, it looks like certainly, with some great visual effects work as well. So you have things like that, and everyone who watches the film usually talks about that, and then they talk about, what's his name? I almost said Robin Williams. I worked with this guy on Castle, and he's a brilliant actor. Okay, Google, star of the Hudsucker Proxy. Tim Robbins, brilliant actor. You know, if you take this sequence out of the film, it's just number one. It's just a great short film. You know, it can survive on its own as a great short film. You know, much like if you look at the scene in There Will Be Blood, sequence in There Will Be Blood, where this guy pretends to be his brother, and they're sitting on the beach, and they went to the bar, and all this kind of stuff. You take that out of the film, that's just a great short film. So, and I really love that. I really love when sequences take on their own identity like that so strongly. So, the thing that's always been interesting to me, you know, outside of just what I think is kind of the insincere family dynamics, just to throw something in there. The one idea that I always come back to, which is why I really do like, you know, revisiting this film every once in a while, is the idea of the invaders, the aliens, dying out because they ran out of resources, you know, and it's very anticlimactic in that way, but also extraordinarily interesting to do with that. It's the most interesting idea, you know, for me in the film. So, what is this? Well, it's a 6.3.